Answer Time with Todd and Aaron.
It's time for Q&A with TNA. By the way, that stands for Todd and Aaron.
All right, well, welcome in to another edition of Q&A with TNA. My name is Aaron Montgomery, and we are with our success group. This fine gentleman right over here is Todd Downing. Todd, how are you today, sir? Can we hear you? That is the question of the day.
Let us find out. I was thinking about doing the mime thing, to be like, but I figured we got to check if it works. I got the mic that would not sync up. I was able to return that for Amazon. They delivered the new one about an hour ago. So
nice.
I was kind of iffy. We'll see if it works because, it should have a green light flashing and it's not. But hey, I like having a mic that works and I can now not have to worry about that. And I was able to run two cameras at the same time this afternoon. So wow. I think I got that fixed too. I didn't really, I've got one of those, I felt my USB system kind of looks like the Christmas lights from Vacation, where there's just a bunch of stuff plugged into it and coming off of it. And I realized that there was something new plugged into it, and it was Corey's vacuum that was charging. So I think that vacuum was pulling enough power from it just to screw with everything in that brick of USBs. Because I pulled that off, and both cameras worked and mic worked. So I think we might have solved an issue here.
There we go. Awesome. Cool. Well, excellent. Yep. We can hear you loud and clear. Curtis says, hello, hear you loud and clear. So that's a good sign. We've got Chuck.
What's up, Chuck?
Hello, Chuck. How are you? Speaking of what's up, Jennifer, good to see you.
Jennifer, probably sitting on the porch with the dog and pounding rum, like a typical pirate.
We got Tanya. Hello, Double Trouble. I'm assuming.
Hello.
Jennifer, it sounds great. Awesome. Nikki says that's what mine looks like too, referring to your USB.
Yeah, there's not enough USB ports in anything. There really needs to be a lot more. I'm counting. I think I have 10 things plugged in. I think I have to go back and look. But between printers and there's cutters and microphones and cameras, maybe if I just get that one audio system and it all plugs into it. I don't know. You got to tell me how to do it, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Oh yeah, right. I've got lots of things plugged in, but most of my printers are network connected, so that saves me quite a few ports.
Oh yeah.
Camera, mic, keyboard, mouse, I guess. So.
Yep. Because I'm looking. Yeah, I didn't even think about those basic ones. The keyboard and the mouse. Those two. That should just be standard now.
If you get the Logitech, what I did is I got the Logitech stuff. And it's got that Unify plug.
Oh, yeah.
So you just have one plug that rules them all kind of thing.
You're so smart.
That's helped because all the traveling and the computers go and stuff like that. It's like, well, wait a second, which little USB thing is this for? So,
I don't think they could have made them any smaller. I mean, come on. Like, you could make it just a tad bit bigger because I don't know about you, but I 1,000% of the time when I remove that little piece from the computer and from the laptop or whatever, I always put it back inside the mouse or inside the keyboard, wherever it came from. I always do that. I always do it. No, I don't. Usually just goes in the bag or it'll stay in there. Yep.
I actually normally have an extra one in there, so I have to find out where I put that.
See?
Thanks for making me check. Now I got to check my keyboard because if I'm heading to, nope, damn it. All right. I've got extra ones floating around somewhere, but
see? That's what I know, and I'm like, or I'll grab the wrong ones, and I'm like, what? Well, this isn't the Logitech one. This isn't that one. I mean, like this one isn't, but that one's been playing. I've been rolling hard with this one for 2 years, and I've got some wear of Stone Edge, but for the most part, I could probably clean it, but it's still holding up.
Cool. That hangs up, holds up pretty good. Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, let's see here. Yeah, Nikki can't get my cameras to work currently either. So.
Unplug some stuff from that USB thing, majigger. because I think that after looking at it, I'm like, that's got to be it, because I unplugged it and that second camera came on. I'm like, I just wonder what's going to happen, because as soon as I got this, I brought up StreamYard, because, you can see the little graph of when stuff is working in that. And I got it, and it was like, oh, it's synced up, because, on the other end of the transmitter, it should be flashing green, when it's either getting a signal that, and it's not. But if I get really close, I can make it flash green. And I don't. So I was like, perfect. Well, then while that was there, then you have to charge it. So I pull it off, and it's got that two-way charger. I plug it in there, and as soon as I plugged in the USB, I lost the camera. I'm like, whoa,
there you go.
What's going on here? So then I started looking. I'm like, what the hell does this cord go to? And there's a damn vacuum that's plugged into it. So I think, there's just pulling enough power from that it was screwing with everything. So I unplugged that. Now I got two cameras and a mic. I got two cameras and a microphone.
Now you just need two turntables, and then you'll be in really good shape.
I do have some turntables laying around from my 90s binge of I can be a DJ. It did not
awesome.
Bode well, but very well for my friends that are still doing it. 25 years later, they're still bumping the house music like it's nuts.
There you go. Love it. All right. Ree, good evening to you as well.
Ree, hello.
Thanks for checking in. All right. Well, Todd, I'm getting ready to I was kind of getting stuff together because I'm heading out to Indianapolis tomorrow.
Right, what time are you leaving tomorrow?
Just kind of, we'll see. Depends on
it. Because how long of a drive is that for you?
Be there, right? So I'm not scheduled to be anywhere. I'm gonna. I told the guys I'd try to get there sometime after lunch, but it's not like they're waiting for me or anything.
Right.
So
how long of a drive is that for you guys?
Well, I could probably do in about 4.5.
Really?
What gets you is the time change. So we'll lose an hour going in. So
because I think for me, I think it's about 5. I think it's about 5 hours for me.
Just if I kind of go and I don't stop and I keep kind of moving along and there's not traffic because normally there's always some construction along that route somewhere too, or crazy weather or something like that. But barring all that, I've been able to do it in 4.5 hours before. So
there is, I believe, some weather in the area, which isn't surprising, is it?
No. I can't remember a time I've driven to and from Indianapolis where there weren't at least a section in that drive where I'm like, I should probably pull over because I literally can't see.
I don't do that. I just go because for us, it's a pretty straight-ish shot, really.
Yeah.
We just get on 74, and that takes us, down through Champaign, and then right there from Champaign. I don't even know what the hell that is. I think it's still 74. I think we stay on 74 like all the way. That's another one that if I basically get out of my house and I go and I just get on the interstate, I just stay on it, and it takes me to Indianapolis. So we were on the fence about it. I really wanted to go, and then I got some excitement that I probably should have went because I said I was contacted and said, "Hey, are you going to be in Indy?" And it was Joe from over at Magic Touch, which meant that my printer is probably in. So Eric was gonna. That's what we were going to do. Either we're going to run up there to what is it, Niles? Is that where they're out of? Niles.
Yeah, Niles.
I was going to try and run up there. Maybe we'll make a day trip of it because I said now the kids are out of school. There's no big deal there. He's like, well, are you going to be at Indy? He's like, probably just bring one to you there, and then that works for everything. So he sent me a message. I think it was Sunday. Sunday said, you're going to be there this week. And I'm like, I should. I really, really should. And we were on the fence about it. We weren't sure what was going on with our printer because it's been a crazy week. Our technician, who, Friday, they said, yep, we're go. This is go week. We're going to do it. Okay. Monday, he was scheduled to do an install at another location because they're a commercial facility and they were closed on Monday. So it made sense. They could go in there, install, do everything there. His flight was delayed 8 hours on Monday. So there went Monday, which just kind of pushed everything around. But he was able to get here this morning and we started in on the 8th. And I think we're about 90% there. Nice. All colors are printing. Everything is doing well. We still are having some alignment issues, but it could be slack in the film. It could be, the clutch on the rollers. It could be a bunch of, it's just something little because it's there. So we know it's there. It's just a matter of just dialing it in. So I'm super excited about that. And then while I was here, we were actually talking about a new dryer that is coming in. That is it's a small big dryer. And what does that mean? Small big dryer. Well, currently I have the 24-inch printer, but I have the 15-inch dryer because the big dryers won't fit through a standard doorway.
Yeah.
These ones do. The new ones will fit through a standard doorway. So he's going to get me the all the schematics and that so we can measure and make sure. And if that's the case, I said, here's what we're going to do is we're going to print enough in June that it just buys its own dryer for July, and then we're set, right? I mean, there's the goal for it. So we're going to look for some specials coming up because Daddy needs a new dryer, folks. Daddy needs a new dryer. We're going to be printing some transfers.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. RapsCon. Yeah, they do have RapsCon up there.
And that's why I wanted to go was
really
because, if somebody hasn't been to one of those shows before, there's a good amount of education. What's the term that you call it when it's education, but it's also sales? What's that called? Because there is a fair amount of that. There's got to be a term for that, right?
Yeah, there does have to be a term, but I can't think of it. So.
But on the wrap side of it, there was a lot of stuff because will I wrap a car again? Absolutely. Will I do it anytime soon? Probably not. And I have our local Wensco here that puts on twice a year. They'll do a 3-day class where you can go and attend that and pay for it. But to have all of that knowledge right there, it is tough for me to miss out on that because I really want to go just to learn more about that.
Yeah,
and it's tough. So I'm holding out for Printing United. That's what I'm
there.
Doing.
You go.
EU
infomercial, Jerry said.
Yeah, it's kind of infomercial, but I have picked up some great knowledge there. The laser ones have always done me good. And do I have a laser? No, but I see it. We actually, me and the technician talked about my laser today because he said he bought one too, just because it was a great deal and he hasn't done anything with it. He goes, so I know exactly where you're coming from. And then I said I have 2. I started to say 2, but it has now been up to 3 storage units. And he goes, that's what I have. I have 2 in the garage full. So it's just there's just people like us. We're the collectors, and we came to the decision that it's great for our grandkids when we die to go through it and be like, why did Granddad keep all this crap? What is it? It gives them something to do. So
there you go.
Will continue.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Well, Jamie, thanks for checking in here. She says working away. So good to see you tuned in. Jennifer giving me the traffic update. I appreciate that. Yeah, 70's closed downtown Indy. Excellent. I'll definitely have to reroute. So that's a good because I would come in on 70. So
then you just get a scooter, get the little bird and scoot on over there.
Yeah. We can go around. There's places to go around. Where's my wife going? Okay. Jennifer said she will go grab that printer for you. Just FYI.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. I like the idea of. So once they get back, I'm going to try and probably Monday get in contact. Probably make a day of it, a half day of it at least. Just go up and get some training on it. Go through all that. The different stuff because I think that's where a lot of people. Don't see that side of it. Buy it at a trade show and they take it home and we'll do the videos and watch that and that's just it. They don't really. Rarely do I see somebody take up the opportunity to go to the training facilities. They don't want to take that time out of their schedule to do it. They want to just, hey, I can figure it out. I can just go from here.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that even with our place on the DTF side of it, they are actually going to their headquarters. Their shipping headquarters is going to be about an hour and a half from me. So that's where everything is going to ship out. So I'm going to have super quick access to all my films, all my inks. New equipment is also going to come in there first. So I'm going to be able to just jawn on down there and take a look at the stuff when it comes in, which that really floats my boat on that. And there's some other product lines that could be coming in the next year that I'm super excited about too. And to have it in my backyard, I'm really, really pumped about that stuff. So anytime I can get to a place to go see something done, man, it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamie actually asked, what machine did you go with, Todd?
We went with the classic from DTF2U.com. Matt Gussie from, he was with Advanced Color Solutions. He's still part of that too, but he's DTF2U and handles that
Pretty
side of it.
The paper ranch, in fact, if you go way back.
And so, it's been here's the thing is like my printer, you can totally import it from China, Guess what, folks? They all come from China. Shocker, right? So you can do that, absolutely. Here's what you don't get: service. You don't get service. For the last 3 months, Our printer has not been 100% capacity, and DTF2 has taken care of us and printed for us. So while we haven't made great money, we haven't lost any money in this time. And fun fact on this, so printer hasn't printed in since February, right? February was the last time we got a good print out of it.
Yeah.
At that time, we thought it was heads and boards, and then upon further review, they thought it was just a board. Okay, we're going through and diagnostic stuff. So, of course, there was no boards in the States, so we had to wait on China. China was on lockdown once again, so we were waiting on stuff to fly in from that. So, got in there, we changed the board out, and at that time, we had no white, so no white head. So, your first assumption is that it's going to be clogged, right? Clogged white head. So, I did 2 cleanings, and I ran the print head, and now this was in March, so or February, because this was in March because it was towards the end of it. Did that 2 print head cleanings, and the color head, magnificent, and I didn't do anything to it for like 2 weeks. It was wet capped, and that's all it was. White, nothing. Okay, well maybe it's clogged. Ran an ink charge on it, and white was coming out of the drain. Aha! So if white's coming out of the drain, that means that my print head is not clogged, because it could not be coming out of the drain if it was clogged. It could be, but chances are it wouldn't be. I'd at least be getting something in the head cleaning. Turns out it ended up being a faulty head. So when that board went, the head went as well. Well, through trying to get parts in, trying to get a service tech here, because he's like, we're just going to fly somebody and take care of it. By this time, we had figured out, well, they were going to take care of my print needs for me. So I wasn't in any super rush hurry to get it. So we went 2 months without printing. And you know what we did today? We cleaned twice, and that color had printed fine. So, that's key to, on these commercial ones, they're made for that. You're not doing that with those desktop ones that we use. Yeah. You're not leaving that 2 days without it clogging. So really good there. And then the support along the way, hey, here's the issues that we're running into. Here's what we have, there's Jay got sick for a while, our tech, for a couple days. I'm like, don't worry about it. We're covered on my end. Get it here. So anytime you're buying equipment, always go with the service. The service is key on it. Could have saved those thousands, but all these issues, I'd have just been screwed. China's not doing that. Or if I want China help, what am I doing? It's 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. is when I have to get online to be able to talk to somebody. So, pay the extra money, no matter what piece of equipment is that you think you need, that you can import for save a couple $1,000s. Get it from somebody in the States that you have warranty, service, support, things like that with, and you're going to save yourself a ton of trouble. Yeah.
Jamie asked when choosing this machine, what was your main reason? I know service is obviously a big part of that.
Yes.
Also, has your ROI been what you expected?
Well, it's hard to say because we haven't printed a full month since we had it, because we ordered it at the Long Beach show, so that was mid-January. Yep. Yeah. It showed up in February, and we started having issues about 2 weeks in. Now, from at that point in time, the 27 that they sold, we were the only one that had issues. So, all right, that to me is okay. That's good. Not that I have issues, but only one of them was having issues. Now, on the minis, they did have a lot of issues with those, and how they rectified those people said, hey, here's a full refund on it if you want it back. No problem. If you want to upgrade to the 24-inch one, we're going to give that to you at a discounted rate and apply what you've paid for this one towards that. Just take the 13-inch back. So they gave them the upgrade option on it. They gave them more stuff. So they really stepped up on it for there. The ROI that I've seen from our limited, it's actually a little bit more. And that's because in the price from when we first started it to now, surprisingly, costs have kind of flatlined there. Before they were kind of crazy. There was a lot of ink that was out there, a lot of different prices on a lot of different film. And so from what we found and what we're using, and the one thing you also have to look at that too is on the ink side of it. If I don't use their ink, they're not going to warranty it. That's just part of it when you get some of these. Now, once it's out of warranty, if I want to try other inks, great. But if it works, why? What is really saving $10 on a liter of ink get you? It's nothing really. Now, and I'm a big proponent of third-party inks, mind you, because like in my Roland, when I got that, it was already on third-party inks. And when I can get an 880 cartridge that is $49 versus the 220 Roland that's $90. I mean, there's a big difference in that. When my colors and everything are the same, but if I'm starting with this and everything works with it, is still fairly new. You know, the technology is in its infancy. This thing is going to be a dinosaur probably in 2 years because things are changing that fast. I hope there'll still be the support, there'll still be that for it there. But I mean, now the 4-head ones are coming out, and even with those, I don't know if I would necessarily go with it because you've got 4 times the issues on it. Right? You've got 4 heads you're trying to line up with it. Yes, you can do more stuff and you can print faster with it. There's a lot of things, but I mean, you need to really be pumping out some transfers for it. I mean, we're sitting at what do we determine? 50 square feet an hour is what we can print right now. It's just about 50. When we go to the 24-inch one, it's going to be about 60. And so it doesn't really change. It's weird. It doesn't change a whole lot because of the width and how it has to. It's weird how it works, but it works that way. It's about 50 square feet is what you can get out of these.
Okay.
So, when you're looking at that, I mean, that's a lot of transfers. You're going to do, even for us, we plan on about starting 3-4 hours a day, so 200 square feet a day, you should be banging that out. No problem. It's not going to put stress on the machine. It's not going to do there. And even some of the people that I talk to that are selling, they're like, that's pretty much the norm for people. It's 2-3 days. And it might even be every other day because they'll just load it up because you got to think too, if you don't have a lot of printing right off the bat, you've got a 3-foot lead and a 2-foot tail. So you're wasting 5 foot of material every time because you've got that lead going through the dryer. You've got it going because what we have is the take-up reel on the back. So it has to go to that so it pulls it through. Now, one of the new dryer is a conveyor dryer. So a conveyor dryer, you don't have that. You can go right to it. So there's a big difference too. When you're looking at dryers, having a take-up reel versus the conveyor. Because the conveyor, you don't need that big front end on it. You also don't need that. You need that somewhat of a tail because otherwise it's going to get all floppity-doppity when it goes through the shaker part of it. But, if you're just doing a handful of them, you're going to waste 5 foot. And if your cost per material is, say, about 67, 70 cents per foot, I mean, you're wasting $5, on one transfer. And that's where White Toner to me comes in because I can do that same thing. And if I just need that onesie twosie, it's going to be there. Or you wait until you build up that base. Hey, we're not turning that thing on unless there's 15 feet to print here, 20 feet, whatever, you're just not going to do it. So there's a lot of it to do it. And a lot of people tell you, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Hey, it's not. It still has issues. There's still things dialing it in. It is not a put it in and press, print, and go. I don't know if anything is like that as much as everybody tells you. It is a press, print, and go type thing. Maybe the Rollo labeler is about the only thing that you plug in and print press. And the why is because it's just black. It's thermal black, and that's all there is to it. There's just a lot of moving parts with it. So I would say when it comes to buying one, do your research, talk to your people, talk to others that are in the industry. My two that I go to is DTF2U. They've taken real good care of me before them. I use DTF Superstore a lot. Andy over there really takes care of his people as well. They're West Coast, one's East Coast. Now I have one that's a lot closer to me too. So that helps. Look at your shipping times for what it's going to take you to get supplies. Because, sometimes, if something's 3 to 5 days out from you, that could be a week, that you're down waiting on stuff. So you've got that in there. It's all trial and error. If I think on the transfer wise, looking at printing, if it is not your main source and that's what you're going to do, it's really hard to say, yeah, this purchase is justified because the thing you have to do is you have to bring in those people, right? You have to bring in to run that machine. I know that that's going to be 2 or 3 hours every day that I am not going to be doing something that I'm going to be over there doing it. So I have to make sure everything is perfect here because you just can't stop and do it. Now, with the new dryer, apparently, I won't have as much of that because it will be a set it and forget it type of thing. No, it won't be. It won't be. You still got to monitor ink. You still got to monitor humidity. You still got to make sure that everything is in there, but it won't be as stressful with it. So you're either going to hire somebody and you do that. And if an average employee needs to bring in, $100,000 a year to be able to pay for themselves, to pay for everything to worth it to bring it in, well, the machine's an employee. The machine needs to do that. So there's a lot of little things that go into it, but knowing your numbers is definitely key for it. You have to get a handle on your numbers to know if it is the right investment for you. So,
yeah.
Soapbox off.
Well, DTF questions tonight. So, JB said they were thinking about getting one. Are you printing your own shirts or jobs? Are you printing for other people?
Both.
I know the answer to that.
Yeah, we do both. Like this. This is DTF right here. This is DTF. And this is This is a year ago DTF, because this was still on our old stuff, and it's the thing where you can get the smaller machines, you're going to get more headaches. I started with the small ones. I converted those. Every desktop model that is being sold in the States is a converted printer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a converted printer. Most are the Epson L1800s, and they have the 3600 print head in it, so a slower print head in it. They are going to be slow machines. You're going to get anywhere from 5 to maybe 11 transfers per hour. So you got to think of it. Those would be, like square feet. So you got to think, if you've got a job of 50, that's 5 hours of just printing there. Whereas on the big commercial one, that's an hour. So that's something to think about too. Also on those, if you're not using a powder shaker, we've talked about it here before, and I've shown that powder can get everywhere because you're manually doing it. So you need to find a way to do that. And then you're curing. There's just a lot that goes into it. I'd say if you have the time on it, transfers are the way to go. If you're just doing the one-off full color transfers and that, I'm going to venture to say that white toner is going to be the way to go. And we're hoping to be able to prove that correct or not correct sooner or later, because we'll have one to go from here. All right. I've been ordering transfers.
I have DTF on as well. We've been ordering transfers, paying $1,015 a month in transfers. We were thinking about it hard. So.
Yeah, if you're spending that kind of money in it, then I would definitely look into it, because you're spending, $1,200 or $12,000 to $16,000 a year, right? Is that right? $12,000, $18,000 a year.
Yeah.
Machine cost is going to be, all in 24-inch 2-head dryer. Let's just call it $23,000. So, you've got that out there. Now you've got your film, your ink, like even this for my build tube. So when I bought mine, it came with your startup supplies. So it came with ink, it came with film. Knowing what I know now and how things are going, when I financed it, I would have financed a shit ton more. I would have totally financed more, because I'm looking at, just for a build to order, of spending about $1,600 on supplies just to have a build to, and it's probably not enough. I probably need to double that. Probably need to have a round of all color ink, probably 10 liters of white on hand, and at least 5-6 rolls of film on hand at any given time, because you figure, especially with ours on the 15-inch wide, 15-inch wide film is what we can order. Right now, we've got 12-inch. That's why ours, the space that we have is 11.5, because we're like, hey, we're using the 12-inch wide on it. Now, if that's 100 meters, that's 323.8 feet, I believe, close to that. So let's call it, with beginning, ends, things like that, you've got 270 feet on it. That's 275, 12 by 12 transfers that you're printing out of it. Seems like a lot, but it's not really when, you have an order of 50 or in an order of 100 and an order of 10. Adds up fairly quickly. Yeah. So when I was talking to our technician, he goes, yeah, there's days that we'll run through 5 rolls of film that come in. And this is where having that support system comes in. Me, with what I have currently, hey, if I don't have any in stock, I can send it to my vendor and they'll print it for me. So, hey, that kind of works there. So it is nice to have a good system in place. When you are looking to purchase, ask, what's the contingency plan? Hey, what if I'm not able to print? We go down. How does that factor in? And that was one of the big factors when it came to printing. When I looked at some other places, because when we're in Long Beach, there's a good handful of them that were there. And really only one of them said, when you go down, we're here to help you. And here's what we'll do. And there was a few stumbling blocks in the beginning. And why was that? Because it hadn't happened yet. I was the only one. And so what better person to learn to with me? So as we went through that, there was some learning, some learning and growing pains with it. Hey, what happens when we go ahead and, how are we blind shipping? How are we sending things out? Where does this go from here? There's some hiccups along the way. And I was glad to be a part of it. And I said, hey, look, you could have had somebody else that would not be tolerating any of this, but I know how things go. So I'm glad to be part of this process. You know me, I want to learn and see, hey, how can we make it better all the way around? And it's been a fun and exciting thing. But I think if you're doing that many transfers at it, where you're spending that many, and maybe I could be wrong too, because maybe you're overpaying for your transfers. So maybe, because I know people that are charging $10 and $12, for a 12 by 19. So a 12 by 19 sheet is what they're charging, $12 for. Kudos to them to get that money. I know people are selling as low as $2. That is not going to be me. We're not going below $4 a square foot. Why? Because things happen and things cost money. And when a head goes out on this, a head's $1,200. And you got to sell a lot more transfers at $2 than I do at $4 to cover my expense. And I would still like to eat dinner, and my kids would still like to go on vacation. And I don't want to have to, give away a dog because I can't feed it. So I got to make sure I make some money. That's not bad.
I thought I heard you say you wanted to give away a dog. But
yeah, I do. It was great.
Broken dog.
All of them. I want to give away all of them. So it is. It's definitely something to just consider all the way around. Nobody wants to be the lowest. I don't want to be the lowest price out there, and I'm perfectly fine. If somebody doesn't shop with me because they feel I'm too expensive, then they're not my customer, and that's cool. Not everybody's customer, and I'm good with that. I'm there to help and give support, but you want to go somewhere else? That's cool.
Yep, totally. All right, well, 30 minutes in, we've covered lots of DTF ground. And, just normally so Q&A happens when we don't have our Success Group training stuff going on. So this will be the last one for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Q&A on the 22nd of June.
No, we won't.
Oh, that's true. Why. We will not. We will be.
Where are we going to be? Where are we going to be, buddy? Where are we going to be?
I've been working on it so much that I'm like, brain's not even there. All right. So we won't be back for Q&A until the 29th of June. But if there are other questions, that's kind of what this is all about. If you go to the website you see right below Todd there at oursuccessgroup.com.
Go right here.
Yep, that one right there. That's where you can put in questions, and we're happy to answer anything that we can for you. But, while we're here, I don't know, we've got one other quick question for you here on the DTF.
So the STS is a good machine if you are not printing a bunch of transfers. If you're not doing it, because it's a slower machine, but it is a good machine. There's been everybody that I have talked to about it, their only complaint was it was slow because they increased what they were doing. Now, if you're not doing transfers for other people and you're doing stuff in-house, that STS, there is nothing wrong with that machine. I would have no worries sending anybody to say, yep, you should go ahead and get this. A lot of it just comes down to the volume that you do. It's one of those, hey, I'm doing, I'm embroidering some jackets here and there. That's what I'm doing. Okay, a single head works fine for you. Hey, so I want to do about 1,000 pieces a week. A single head is not going to be for you, So you just start looking at things. The speed is where it's at. The STS is a good small. It's nice and compact too. Our Clifford, is what we named this one because he's a big red dog. So we named it that way. Not a horrible, not a small footprint by any means.
Yeah,
it's a big footprint. The STS is a smaller footprint on it. And then with that, you're going to go with your shaker and dryer. Let's say all in, you need maybe 8 foot by 6 foot to comfortably, I'd say that, comfortably get around it, moving there. And that's the other thing when people get these, they got to think about, you basically need at least one bedroom to be able to dump this into and have it there. If you're in a storefront, you're going to be great. The other thing is doorways. As now we're starting to get the wide dryers that can fit through doors. I haven't seen one yet, but I'm getting the information for it. Those ones couldn't fit through standard doorways because even when we looked at 2 commercial spots, that dryer would not fit through there. So that's why we went with the mini shaker duster. So it's something just to keep in mind, your space limitations, your power too. So these are both 240 volts on it, 220, 240. So you will need to run new lines for it, but you can run the converters with it. Now the Classic has the transformer that you can flip. You can go in and flip the pins on the inside, so it'll switch over to 110. And then the dryer, you actually have to get not the transformer that goes down, the one that goes up, the up one. So it takes the 110 to 220, and then you're good like that. So we've been running, and those are just little things to think about. Then you have the exhausting, that you have to think about too, because that does create fumes with it. You don't want to be breathing those in. So 4-inch duct out for that. So you want to be able to exhaust that out there. So those are just all those other little things to think about when you get it in.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Don says, I've been watching everything, and I think for me, better to buy the prints. Just finding responsible printers is very hard. So no notice there, sir. I'm hoping.
I'm good. Well, even right now, that's what before I bought it, I was so that was my big thing, is what happens when I buy it. Because the week that we went there is when, I had 3 of the Epsons, and the last one we started really having issues before we went to Long Beach. And it came down to, I was going to have to buy a print head. We were going through a print head about every 6 weeks on it. And on those print heads at $600, it was just the cost. It's just a consumable. Print heads, that's just what they are. And print heads that aren't made to do something, even less. So we knew that that's what it was going to be. It was basically, it was $100 a week just to run it, to have for a print head. So when we got there, and we're like, here's what we're looking at. What can we do? And they're like, hey, we can help you out with this. And I had worked with somebody else to help with printing, and they flaked off. And here's somebody that, they came to me for advice. We'd been talking back and forth, and like, hey, I can help you out with this, and great. And it was not a good experience, not at all. And there were some really missed deadlines and some refunds that I had to give. And I hate doing that. I hate not being able to help somebody out like that. And then that's when, after we got ours, we were good for, a couple of weeks and started having issues. And DTFTU said, hey, here's what we can do for you to help you out. And we went off the races here. So even with that, we haven't had more of 5 days from the time that we've had to place an order with them till we've gotten the order, or when they've drop shipped to our customer. So we want to follow on that. We are striving to get our turnaround time in that 2 to 3 day window. I know it's going to be that 5 days or less. Shooting 3 to 5. I really want to get the 2 to 3, but there's sometimes where it just might not be possible until we know that we have 10 rolls of film and everything here, and I'm good to go with it. But it is. There's so many people buying printers out there, and the first thing is, hey, I can sell you transfers. I can do this for you. I mean, when I started off, it was 3 months of just, how the hell does this thing work? Let me try this. Let me wash this. Do I feel comfortable with this? And so many other people are just buying it, and yep, we can go ahead and we can send this out to you. What do you need? And it's not been fun. There's growing pains for sure with it.
All right. Well, there's other questions and stuff in here, but we're gonna leave it for now because we can
continue that over on Volley.
That's right. So osg.link, go to Volley, and you'll end up at a place right there. Yep, osg.link right below Todd, and jump in on the Volley. And there's all sorts of channels there. I don't care where you jump in. There's Tuesdays with Todd. I did just reopen Q&A with TNA, so feel free to get in there. So osg.link/Volley, jump in there. Here's Q&A.
Yeah, and just go over there and put all your questions in there. So Don, you want to know about the laser? Go ask the questions there. We can carry on a conversation about it over there, because I can't wait to tell more about that. I'm going to go through. There's so much I could talk about on that doesn't have to do with just the shirt side of it, and that's why I think it really falls in. So the
way we do Q&A here is people go to oursuccessgroup.com/QA, and they put in questions in advance, and so that's kind of the way we've always done this. And we got off track a little bit tonight, but that's okay. Todd really brought it with the DTF stuff, and apparently he hasn't talked about that in a while.
I haven't. It's because I've been afraid to talk about it, because I didn't want to have to. I was like, I don't know if we can do it. Let's go over here. Because there's a couple clients that I have, that are, they are 7-figure businesses, and those are who I wanted to take care of, because they have been with me through the journey, and they completely understood. And I'm like, here, I'm not advertising that I'm printing this, because we used to, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. So there will be I will say this, there will be a 4th of July bundle that will be dropping this weekend at a discounted price, because I need to buy a dryer. And there's some designs in there where I had Hudson picked out some designs, Hattie picked out some designs, Corey picked out some designs, and I picked it. So it's the family 4th of July bundle. We're going to drop that Friday. So I've got to get my button gear to get that set up. But yeah, for everybody else carrying on the conversation, osg.link/Volley. We'll carry that on after 7 p.m. because in 19 minutes we have office hours. So we have time probably to get in one question. We can talk about it for about 15 minutes, and then we can get out of here.
That's right. So for those of you that are OSG squad members, we'll be seeing you over at the Zoom office hours for 5 keys. And if you need that resource, just let us know. I'll kind of look before we jump in there. But you should have gotten emails and all that other stuff. So we'll see you guys over there at that. But let's get this one question, like you said, Todd. So we're all in different levels of our businesses. Any little known resources you can share? what stands out for you, Todd?
For us, I mean, I might just have to toot our own horn here, and osgresources.com is a good one to start at.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I
Great
also,
point.
which one are you going to? Where are you going to next? What are you doing?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
OSG resources, that's a good one. I can probably pull that up. We can look at that. So,
and then I guess what kind of resources too?
What's that?
What kind of resources too? Because there could be, the library's a little known resource. It's like nobody goes to the library anymore.
Yeah, and I think probably just kind of general like resources that maybe people don't really know about or take advantage of a whole lot, or just because I think we talked about Volley a little bit. I think there's 50 now 58. We just got one new person, 58 people in there, so only 58 people are taking advantage of. I mean, we're talking the amount of information that flows in there and is incredible to me. I think so. That's one thing. Another thing that I thought of when I saw this question, Todd, was which I guess now it's a little bit. I put it on hiatus because of all the things going on with Skills USA and stuff like that. But I love doing Small Business Saturdays every Saturday morning. And I actually put a lot of work and effort into making sure that there is some good content there. And we cover a lot of ground. It's a lot of mindset stuff for sure. But I think that's a great resource. You can go over to the podcast version and still download the podcast. I got the live version on hiatus until the 9th of July. So we can get through. So I can get through. Skills USA Todd is coming out to help and support. So thank God for that. Appreciate that, sir.
It's a trip to Atlanta. I haven't been, so why not, right?
There you go. Yeah, so those are a couple that I thought of too. You talked about OSG resources. What are some other things that you see out there? Tanya says Volley is awesome for info and collaboration and fun.
It has been. I love it over there.
Yeah.
I think some other ones. I think that little known resources that a lot of people should be using that they don't is check with your suppliers. Your suppliers have a lot of training. Your suppliers have a lot of information on products, a lot of marketing stuff, a lot of templates that you don't think about. Just reach out to them because a lot of them have that readily available. But for some reason, they really never push it that much. Here, go here, check out our resource page. Holy crap, there's usually a lot of stuff in that. And that's all you have to do. If you got a salesman, reach out to them, ask what kind of specials they may have. And there are a lot of them have some kind of training of something going on, and I think that there's so much value in that side of it. And it's really unfortunate that the access is there, but it doesn't get accessed enough. The information is obtainable, but you really you might have to put in some work to do it. And I think that is kind of a good thing, though. You have to be willing to put in the work and just not have everything handed to you. So it is an exciting thing with that.
That's a good point. The other thing, Todd, I guess we do have a resources page. In fact, Leela was just saying, went to your resources and I'm working on your niche worksheet right now. So yeah, we do have a niche assessment worksheet, one-page business plan in there, SWOT template, core value template, job template, Facebook ad copy wizard. I mean, there's some good stuff in there. And then we've got all the books that we suggest reading. Gosh, I forgot how much stuff was in here.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in there because every time something new came up, it just went to the resources tab. Yeah, so you should be good to go.
Yeah. So check that out at oursuccessgroup.com/resources. Trying to think what else. I mean, there's lots of great stuff for sure. I mean, you can always go back into the archives of all the Tuesdays with Todd as well over at liveosg.com. So there's lots of information out there. I guess the last thing I would share in this, Todd, is we've built our success group, the OSG squad. Kind of every time I talk to people about what it is that we do, everybody's like, "Really? You do all of that?" I mean, because there's two Zoom calls a month. There's at least one training a month on some amazing stuff. I'm still like totally jacked up about the training we did in May on automation. I mean, everybody's talking about that.
It's changed the way that we did our business in the last month.
Yeah.
You know, just finding something. I found out that, you know, some of it's not free, you know, because you only get so many things. And I just got action happy. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm like, whoa, okay. Now that I know I'm paying for it and what actually comes to this.
But like you said, right? I mean, that money that you spend on it gets paid back in time in no time. So
because the time saved, crazy time saved.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you have access to the 5 Keys program, which is a full module program that gives you everything you need for a good foundation in your business. That way you can price confidently, you know your numbers. You know, Todd and I talk about that all the time. Todd is really great at sharing that about, you know, you just have to know your numbers. And every time he says that, right, all I can think of is, God, it's so cool that we've got a resource that we can just go, here you go, right?
Yeah,
so
it does. It amazes me how many people don't know what it costs them to run their business, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because I remember, you know, I was fortunate enough when I was starting off as I came from a business background, and I knew that, you know, that things mattered. You know, when we could add on, you know, the disposal fee of $2.25 to oil changes because, you know, we had to pay to have special pickup for that stuff. Hey, there's little fees and everything that are there, and we should, you know, this is what it was. This is how it is, you know. Tire disposal fee. People didn't realize we had to pay for that every time to get stuff taken away. And we're like, you want to take them with you? You can save this. If not, it's built in the price. Okay. And so I came from that business side of things, and a lot of people, they just kind of fell into this. Like, hey, I'm going to get this. I'm just going to start doing this. I need to make, well, like on the decoration side of it, I know where a lot have fallen into it. You know, I'm making these shirts for my kids' team, their class, their whatever. Then a mom asks if you can do it. And before you know it, you're making stuff. And you just went off what you saw somebody else pricing at it as, and you didn't realize that you're losing money on every job. And all you know is you're just up to your eyeballs in work. It doesn't feel like you're making anything because you're not. You're just overwhelmed with it. And you're ready to quit your dream that you thought could be your good little business because you just don't know your numbers on it. You know, I've talked to plenty of people that once we got this in place, they were like, holy shit. Yeah, I didn't realize that it cost that much to run my business. Like, it does, you know, and we don't think about it. So once you get those, it makes your life a lot easier.
Exactly. And the other great part about that, like you said, Todd, once you get that in place, right, you had the comments of, holy shit, I didn't know what it cost to run my business. But the reality is then that gives you a place to go. And now you can price more confidently, right? And when you're pricing more confidently, if, like you talked about earlier, if they want that transfer for $2, then that's not your customer, right? You can't make the money you need to be successful. That's not your customer. And that's okay. You move on to the person that is, because there's always somebody willing to pay for the services and problems that you solve for them easily anywhere you look, right? I always kind of relate it to this, like somebody out there is wearing a pair of Nike shoes or carrying a designer handbag when they could be buying something much cheaper that would have the same utility, but they're willing to pay for it. So you just have to get people to understand what they're paying for, right? It's just a perceived value thing. So anyhow.
I mean, is a Yeti any better than an Arctic? I don't know, man. I don't know if it's $30 more.
I still see the same coldness to me. I don't know.
Right. The other thing too, damn it, where did I go with that? Before the Yeti conversation screwed me out of thinking what I was going to think. Do pricing and know where your numbers are with it. Okay.
Well, I was just talking about the fact that you'd be able to be confident because you would know what you had to make, and the $2 person might not be your person.
Right. And the other thing to think too is, you know, just because I say, hey, we charge $125 an hour, do you think I'm making $125 an hour? Hell no, I'm not. But that's what's needed to cover the business. When you're doing production, that's there because, you know, we are not, you know, working 40 hours a week. If your business is set up for a 40-hour business week, you're not making money 40 hours a week. You're making calls, you're following up on emails, you're doing this other stuff that is business related. So the production hours is what covers that. And when there's people out there that, you know, and I know there might be some here, and if you're listening, I'm sorry, but if you want to make $15 an hour, go to McDonald's, right? Go there, get your free meal, get your vacation, get your benefits, and make your $15 an hour. You have a skill and you deserve to get paid for it. You should not be charged. You should not yourself be making anything less than $25 an hour. You just shouldn't. There's no reason for it because if you're making less than that, you can go anywhere and get a job making damn near that. You want to be your own boss. You want to make what you want. You really should be pricing yourself you are an amazing talent. Not everybody can do what you can do. You're the expert in your field. Get paid for it.
Yeah. And I think that's the other important part, and it's one of the things that we do dive into is finding your ideal customers, right? And having a workflow and process. I mean, all these things that allow a business to have a good, solid foundation can be really huge for a business, and that's all part of the OSG squad. So, Todd, I don't know if you want to do this or not, but I'm going to do it anyhow. So we're putting it out.
You got the controls, man. Whatever you say.
I'm pushing the buttons. So
you push the buttons. I'm too far away. I got the wireless mic. I don't have to be up there anymore.
OSG.group/try OSG. What's going to happen over there, Todd?
You should be able to try us out for your first month for $5. That's $5. $5. You'll be able to try us out for $5. If you like what you see, guess what? You get to stick around. And it's only $79 after that. But with that $5, you're going to have access to all our training. Hey, tonight you would actually be able to get into office hours, right? Because that's part of the OSG squad. So you'd be into that. You'd have access to the 5 keys. So that's a $500 value. You're getting for 1/100th of the price. 1/100th of the price. I just did that. So there's a lot of valuable information there. Your business is worth $5. Just throw it on there. It's cheaper than a number one from McDonald's. So
there you go. So if you guys have not signed up to be part of OSG, like Todd said, this is your chance. Do it now. I'll check my email all the way up until we get started, and I'll send you the link. If you've come through as a purchaser, join us over there in the Zoom call. See what that's all about. Get you into the 5 keys program. If you can dig into it in a month, and cancel at any time. So this is not like you sign up for life or anything like that. I don't know, Todd. And I think you're a lot like me here, where it's just like trying to like figure out how to like pull one over on people. It's just too hard to figure out, right? Just here's what we want. We want you to check it out. We want you to try it. If you like it, great. If you don't, we understand. I think the biggest thing we'll do is just ask you if you could give us any feedback. So beyond that, we're not going to hard sell you. Neither Todd or I are hard sell guys. Just not in our nature, and it's not what our success group was built to do. It's not part of our plan. It's not part of our mission. So we'd love for you guys to check it out. OSG, oursuccessgroup.com/try OSG. All right.
There it is. There's the pitch.
So,
all right. We got we've got a few short minutes before we have to be over to office hours.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to back here in a month, man. End of the month, right?
Yeah. So back here in a month, we'll put that banner up one more time for everybody too, just in case. Pretty easy though. It's just oursuccessgroup.com/QA.
Yep. And then for those that might want to know, next week we have training. And what is that training on over there? And when you're
identifying your ideal customer.
Ooh. Yeah, it means finding money, baby. Finding money.
Yeah, that's right. So look for that next. And then the week after that, we do an implementation call. Because one thing, Todd, this is what we've learned over the 2 years of doing this so far, is that it's one thing to give everybody the information. It's another thing to get people into action. And we've always felt like it was our job to motivate you guys into building some action, because we know if you don't take action on it, it's not worth anything. It's not even worth that little measly $5. If you don't take action on it, you're not going to get any value out of it. So we've designed this so where we have a training, you get a week to let it sink in. There's some action items that are kind of called out for you. And then we come back and we get together in a Zoom call, whoever wants to join us, and we actually figure out how we can implement those things into your business. And we do that together as a team. And success is a team sport. So
that it is, my friend.
All right, you guys. Well, Todd, great job, and awesome job on the DTF info today. You guys got
hey,
bonus that we aren't even planning on. So.
I don't mind starting to talk a little bit more about it when I can start printing. I don't, because before I would talk about it and then people would want it, and I'm like, there's one, let's just woosah. But now, we'll get back into it.
So if you want to keep talking with Todd about that, osg.link/volley is where you can do that. And just jump in anywhere, jump into the conversation, and you're going to love it. It's a really cool experience. Might be a little bit different, but it's basically a messenger app that leads with video. Yep. You don't have to do video. You can do voice, you can do text still, but most people lead with video. It's very laid back. right? So we don't have to get all
Yep.
dressed up and have.
Well, right
studio
now,
stuff.
we are in the middle of an amazing series of Brian working on a laser. So, I mean,
There you go.
that's the thing. You get over there, you can see machines work, you can hear people's stories, and you know, Brian sounded like he had a little cold, so I think he might have caught a little something when he was up there in Colorado. But he's still burning stuff on the laser, and hey, we've been asking for that for a while. So there's a lot of great information over there. You'll see people in work, doing work, carrying on that conversation that we all have every day. And sometimes it's just a good place to chit chat. We've had some amazing stuff come out of those conversations, and maybe we've been off the rails a few times, but it is a great time. You at least stop by random, say hi, and once you're there, you can always reach out to Aaron, myself through Volley as well too, and just connect with us there. Leave us a message.
Yeah.
We're happy to.
Yeah, I've got plenty of direct messages going on with folks in the background too. So that's a great point, Todd. I love that. All right, good deal, Todd. I think we've done it. So great job, and we will see everybody back next month for Q&A. Got some stuff coming up. I'm heading to Indy, but I'm still going to be doing 2 regular guys on Friday and the half on Friday. So just be coming from the hotel room. Todd, you've got Morning Mindset on Friday.
On Friday, I have that. Yes, Friday. And so, yeah, Friday. Unless I end up in Indy, I don't think it's gonna happen. I've got to catch up on stuff.
All right.
Short week.
Yeah, and I am also doing a fundamental start every morning at 7 a.m. It's short and sweet, and I'm even on the road. I'm going to see if I can make it happen. So weekdays, Monday through Friday. I did skip Memorial Day, but work days, we'll say. I'm trying to make it happen no matter what. So it's at 7 a.m. Jump in, check it out. Having a great time with that. But if you miss that, most Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can catch Todd with Morning Mindset too.
We're there.
There we go. Awesome. All right, everybody. Have a good one. And we'll see all the OSG squad members and all the 5 Keys members over in Zoom in about 2 minutes.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.